Just before it's an adventure, right? I expect it. So you know. I call to order the February 11th meeting of the Student Government Association. Please review your agendas while Jacob does roll call.
Nicholas Polanco. Here. Anderson Dallaire.
Here.
Isabella Munez.
Here.
William Connor.
Here.
Travis McLaughlin.
Here.
Brenna Giuliani.
Here.
Aviana Lee Salters.
Here.
Will Honorado.
Here.
Jacob Trainer.
Here.
Cody Hoisington.
Here.
Sophia Rubincheck.
Here.
Melissa Kosmeski.
Here.
Raymond Croto.
Here.
Barney Garcia.
Here.
Ethan Mullinson.
Here.
Ali Sutherland.
Here.
Troyo Nosel.
Here.
Angelina Casella.
Here.
Giancarlos Artiega.
Here.
Marissa Montero. SAC Representative.
Here.
Christopher Lannon.
Here.
Irina Mahida.
Here.
Akila Fakos. Benny Rosas.
Here.
Dominic Zyko. Peru Sharma.
Here.
Please be advised that we are live stream recorded. Are there any corrections to the minutes from our last meeting of the Student Government Association? Seeing none, all in favor to approve the minutes?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Minutes are approved.
And now for your presence report, Joseph Bonilla.
All right, hello. Ooh, wow. Hello, everyone. Today we will be joined by a few guest speakers to discuss the finances of our institution. We have Vice President Taksar here, the head of the area, and then we have some people joining him from dining, Res Life, and is there somewhere else? And we have Dick here as well with athletics. So without a further ado, please help me in welcoming our guests.
So I'm just going to kind of kick it off here. We have 3 or 4 people that are presenting pieces of the presentation. And just in terms of an introduction, this is a follow-up to our December presentation on the finances of the university and how that affects student fees. So we've got 3 people lined up to speak briefly. I would ask that if you have questions, hold them till the end. We need to get through our presentation. And the first up in terms of our presentation is John Zacco to talk a little bit about Res Life.
Hello, everyone. So, as Steve mentioned, we have a few folks to speak tonight. Our update is going to be pretty straightforward. I'm just here to talk about the rates and what the increase we're looking to do for next year. This slide right here is showing our rates compared to the percentage increase from last year to this year, and across the board with our sister institutions. For next year, we are looking to do a 2.5% increase in our housing rates. As you can see, we're actually the lowest increase compared to our other campus in the state. On average, the different state institutions are doing an increase of 4% across the 9 campuses. We are the lowest percentage of increase compared to those. These increases do come from cost of living increases, as we talked before last semester and each year. We had different increases due to cost of living, the energy, what we need to power around our halls do increase year to year, which is resulting in our increase. That works out to, when looking at our rates for next year, To kind of do a quick breakdown, this year our standard room was $4,405 per semester. Standard single was the $4,065, and a super or premium single is $5,405. For next year, this is showing what the rate increases will be. These are showing the cost per semester, and what the cost per year will be. The standard rates are any room that is a standard double, triple, or quad space. This includes our suites and apartment style, as well as our traditional halls. A single room is what is a designed single room. So these are rooms that are in the apartment complex are singles, our new hall singles, and our traditional hall singles. These are the rates for students living in those. And then our premium super singles, we are looking to have some of those again next year. Those are the ones that are normally a double occupancy room moved down to to one person. So these are showing rates with the 2.5% increase from the fall to spring. With that, I will move over to Donnie.
Thank you, John.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having us here tonight. Westfield State Dining continues to take an active role listening to students, engagement, and feedback, along with applying daily what we're learning from our students. We're working on more fresh local vendors. At the moment, we just switched over to Wolf Fish, which is a local from Boston, working with local fishermen and farmers to bring you fresh fish in the DC. Local produce, we're switching potentially to Simos, which is right out of Springfield, meaning local to us from here. They're going to the farms, they're picking up the things that we're having in the DC. PFG is our performance food group. They're local to New England and Massachusetts. They're right down the road in Springfield. They're very local to us, and we're able to go there and get things that we need. And they're also helping us locate those farmers that we can buy produce and products from. We've also, you may have noticed, we're trying to get a more local to Massachusetts coffee vendor on campus. The last few weeks, we've been hosting different coffee vendors to come in so that you can try them and have a voice as to who we choose to go to. Also, we've been working to give back to our community. 5 students this past semester from the Westfield Vocational Academy are here with us. 3 of them this semester are actually graduating in June from Westfield Vocational, and they've been working with us for 2 years now. They're fantastic students. If you have the opportunity, you should go to Westfield Voc and have lunch there one day. I think on Thursdays and Fridays they do it. Riverside is empowering people, and we're offering 6 positions to Riverside with a job coach in retail and in the dining commons. Viability is a new partnership that we've been working on, and there's room for us to grow and engage with team members from Viability. We also had the opportunity just recently to work with SGA in the Westfield community in the soup kitchen here in Westfield, and we very much so appreciate that opportunity. Also, this past October, we worked with the Buddy Walk here in Westfield and helped produce some of the food that they had for their guests. We would also like to acknowledge that Common Goods on campus is a year-round opportunity for Westfield State and Westfield State Dining to help start the process with Marjorie. We're also excited for some of these updates as we are going to not have an increase in dining for the fiscal 26 year. Our door rates neither will be updated. We also combined some meal plans, so we no longer are going to be offering the Nestor Plus or the Blue 15 Plus, but we combined those. We realized that there was only 6% of the student population utilizing those meal plans, and so we were able to kind of combine them into others. At this time, I'd like to welcome Dick Lenpass back up.
Clap more. very much. My name is Nick Lenfest. I'm the Director of Athletics. I'll go over a little bit of history as far as with the fitness center. But first, I want to, I've been here 20 years, and really it's my honor to be here today, and I want to thank all of you for the work that you put in on behalf of the student body and the work to better Westfield State University. And because of your work, Westfield State is the top state institution in Massachusetts. So I appreciate that. So I kind of like to do the work. So essentially, I'm here to discuss a fee concerning the fitness center. And the fitness center in Ely upstairs, back in 2012, there was work done here, this area, and upstairs, it became 2 floors for the fitness center. The fitness center was essentially just the bottom floor where you see the free weights, and everything was kind of jammed in there. And then upstairs, you see where you have the cardiovascular area, you have the classroom area where you can do aerobics and Zumba and spin class, and then you have the weights, the machine weights, and so forth. So what we want to try to do is, Westfield State has always kind of treated it as an a la carte situation. And what I mean by that is it was a pay-to-use situation. And if you, I'll try to click to the next one here. If you notice, we're really one of the only schools in the state university that does it that way. The other institutions, it's all part of their general fee, and every student is allowed to utilize the recreational and fitness areas at the school. So in 2012, the membership was $92.50 a month, which comes to $185 for the academic year. And what we want to try to propose, and VP Taksar will go into some of the financial details next on this. We want to propose that the cost would be $78 a semester in your fees. Currently, approximately between 80 and 85%, or I think Steve said 81 to 85%, excuse me, are members of the fitness center on campus. So what we're proposing is that this would roll into the general fee, which in turn would give the majority of students on campus a better cost benefit analysis, because it would be less expensive for 80 to 85% of the student body from that perspective. I kind of wanted to put up there a couple different costs. I know that, you have Planet Fitness in town, you have Snap Fitness, you have Anytime Fitness, you have Fresh Fitness. And you can kind of look at some of the costs, and a lot of those costs are, yearly, and they make it a little bit more expensive from a monthly perspective. I've been a big fan of, at the university, to do my best to create community. And I think that's something that student government is all about. And I think in this way, this would be an inclusive area where anyone can use the fitness center. It's, you're all here now to, right, you're building your minds, you're finding out which direction you want to go in life, but there's a part about the mind and the body, right? And as you get to be my age, you understand how important that the body doesn't work as well. And if you do stuff like this, the body works a little bit better, and it's just as important. I've also noticed, and it's there's been many studies on mental health and anxiety, that it's awfully good to get out there and exercise. It's a lifelong habit that we all should be a part of. So this is kind of the proposal. VP Taksar will go into it later. Appreciate your time, and go Owls.
You ever watch that movie, Jerry Maguire? Show Me the Money? Well, we're gonna go right to the chase right now. I have several slides to go through because we always try to compare ourselves to other universities. So we did a lot of that last time, but I did a few different things this time that might be interesting to you. So just to cut to the chase right away, here's what we're thinking about going into FY26. So the tuition mandatory fees, we're recommending that it go to 3.6% overall. And the thing to point out is about 1% of that is related to integrating the fitness fee into the general fee. So what Mr. Lenfest was saying was that if you apply a fee to all students, you can lower the cost of the membership fee currently. At the present time, as Dick said, most places consider this just a cost of doing business. I mean, we're kind of doing it in an old model, and at this point, we want to integrate it into the general fee. So that would be about 1.3% of the 3.6. You can see I noted it down here. So the fitness fee essentially for this year would go, or next year would go from 185 to 156. And we would fold that into the general fee. So all students would then pay the increase on the tuition and mandatory fees. And I've got other charts to show you what that looks like. You heard from Dining Services, they're not raising fees this year. And I want to really commend them for the hard work they're doing to keep those students low. And frankly, that's the main reason we think we can do it this year. To Dick's credit, he's proposed this model for 3 or 4 years in a row. I'm always the one to say, not now, not now, not now. Well, now is now. So I think it makes the most sense because the dining fee is not going up. It'll offset part of this increase. And really, if we're going to do it, now is the time to do it, in my opinion. You heard from Residence Life, we're increasing those fees by 2.5%, the lowest in the state system. And when you net this all out, a residential student with Residence Life fees, dining, and the tuition mandatory fees would pay an overall fee increase of 2.5%. So if you're a residential student, because of the lower costs in the other areas, you would pay on average about a 2.5% increase, which isn't even really keeping up with inflation. Last time I checked, inflation is running at 2.9%. So we're not even really able to keep up with the cost of doing business. So that's the overall broad brush. In terms of some of the details, I've talked a little bit about this already. This also creates efficiencies on the back end, which you don't really see, but the opt-in and opt-out process at the university for various fees creates a lot of back-end work in the student accounts office. So this is really going to streamline a lot of work they do because they won't have to track every person who's opting in or opting out in terms of how the bills are generated and set up. As Dick said, most other state universities have eliminated this as a separate charge. It just makes sense at this point in time. We tried to keep this revenue neutral. In other words, we estimated the cost of what the fee is generating as an opt-in fee or an opt-out fee, and we equated that to what it would cost to maintain the same revenue stream. So you can see at the bottom, it essentially makes us pretty even. So the 156 per student versus the 185 per student on a net basis times the number of students that would participate generates about the same amount of money. So the university doesn't have to implement any budget cuts. It's flat relative to our revenues, and it spreads the cost out to all students as opposed to a smaller population of students. So those are the highlights in terms of why we think this makes sense to do at this point in time. If you look at the overall alignment of fees and the components, here's how that shakes out. You can see that the $437 here is inclusive of $156 for the fitness fee. So we don't show it separately at this point because it would be rolled into the general fee. But that would be part of the $437 as part of the 3.6% increase on tuition and fees. You can see how the rest of those numbers play out in terms of the total fee increases, which at the end of the day, a residential student would pay the 2.5% increase if you're opting to live on campus. I like showing this chart because I think it demonstrates the university's commitment to keeping costs low. So if you look at our tuition and fee history on average over the last 5 years, it's been about 2.3% on average. So fairly modest over a period of time. If you compare that to CPI, which is kind of our index that we compare to, it doesn't quite line up exactly because CPI is calculated on a calendar basis. Tuition and fees are calculated on a fiscal year basis. If I had unlimited time, I would do the conversion and make it line up perfectly, but this is just a kind of an indication of how it lines up. I think overall, if you look at the average 5-year increase on CPI, it's 4.3%. When you look at our tuition and fees, it's 2.6, and the actual change is about 1.7 in terms of lower cost increases based on the cost that the economy is demanding year over year. So we think it's a fair approach. We think our fees make sense, and we think they're the lowest they can be and still operate effectively. There is a new fee, a course fee that is being approved, an art studio fee. So this fee would apply to all of the courses listed here in order to generate the equipment, the supplies, and the materials needed for those courses. The art faculty has recommended this, the provost has approved it, and the campus cabinet has also approved it moving forward. The president can approve these fees on her own because it's not a mandatory fee, it's connected to a specific course or courses. So this will move forward through the process to the board. We are planning to bring these recommendations to the board in February, in about a week or so at the board meeting. And hopefully there aren't any surprises except for perhaps the fitness fee that we've already talked about. So I think that's the end of what we want to formally present, but I think at this point we can take questions however you'd like to manage that.
Are there any questions, comments, concerns for VP Taksar and others? We have rereading Mahida.
Hi, VP Taksar, Hi Dining, and Res Life and Athletics. Thank you all for joining our meeting today to follow up from December. Mr. Lenthes, are you in the building still? Yes. Hi. Yeah, no problem. Take your time. So my question for you is, with the fitness fee, I really appreciate it being lowered, just for the convenience of it for the school, obviously. But on average, how many students do you think, percentage-wise of the student body, do you think have the active membership currently?
Hold on, I will give that number to you.
Because I've noticed it might seem low, might seem high, depending on what that could be.
Right now, in the spring of 2024, we have 2,267.
So like about half,
Or more.
more than half.
You know, the full-time undergraduate population is about 2,900.
Okay, so it's close. Okay, thank you, that's all.
Actually, I made a mistake.
Oh.
It's 2467. I gave you the spring of 2024, my bad.
But they're still pretty even.
Well, it's up another couple hundred.
Okay.
So you're looking at probably on average between 81 and 85% of the student body
Oh, wow.
that do not opt out of the fee on your bill.
Okay, that's all, thank you.
You're welcome.
Christopher Lanham.
Hi, I just want to say thank you to Justin, Jacob, and Dining Service Committee and the dining directors, because without the effort of them and everyone on the committee, I don't think we would have not seen an increase this year in fees. So I think that is well worthy of some recognition. And if you always dining service is an open meeting. If you have any concerns, I would always bring it to them. I trust the importance of that committee. It's one of the most important committees on SGA right now.
Thank you, Chris. Ali Sutherland.
Hi, good evening. I was just curious, would it be possible, two questions, would you be able to push out PowerPoint to us?
Yeah, yep. I usually leave a copy or send a copy.
Thank you very much. And then just the other question is, would you be able to get in contact with Dining Services, or what would be the best way to get in contact with Dining Services if other clubs are trying to do things with the soup kitchen?
How do you?
Dining at Westfield.NA.edu. Dining.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Ali. Ethan Mallinson?
Hello. So correct me if I'm wrong, but this is automatic, or with the fitness plan, it's automatically checkmarked and you have to unsubscribe from it as a card?
No, we're recommending going forward, there's no check mark,
Yes.
there's no opt-in, opt-out. Everybody has access and it's built into your base tuition and fees.
Yeah. But as of now, is it automatically included and you have to opt out?
Yeah, I think that's right, because if you opt out,
Correct.
Yeah.
So my worry is with the people who have chosen to opt out, why are we choosing to increase their prices, especially if financially this is a wise choice for them?
well, that's the trade-off. There's no perfect answer to that, but, if you look at the numbers, 81% of the students will see a decrease, and 19% of the students would see an increase. And so, on balance, you have to ask yourself the question, is it better for the majority of students to proceed or not? We think it makes sense. We think spreading out the cost to everybody and not charging people individually makes sense. So, it's a decision that, you can debate either way. There's not a good answer. I mean, it depends on your perspective.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ethan. Any further questions, comments, concerns? Ethan Haynes?
2 Ethans in a row. Awesome. Last time you came down here in December, if I remember right, I asked about proposed tariffs of the incoming administration at the time. Now that the new administration is in place with new tariffs going into play as well, how are these rising costs that you are talking about and others are talking about going to offset any tariffs that could affect us, such as potentially 25% tariff on all aluminum and steel imports for any renovations ongoing on campus?
I have absolutely no idea.
All good?
There are too many moving pieces to answer that question right now. Depending on who you talk to, there'll be a different opinion. But there are, as you may know, there are many legal cases being filed right now. There are freezes that are being done by executive order that are being reversed. There are efficiency groups set up by the federal government to look at a variety of spending at the federal level. If you're asking me what I'm a little concerned about, I'm concerned about elimination of the Department of Education. They oversee a lot of funding and they provide a lot of direct policy support for higher education. So if I'm watching one thing, I'm watching that, and I'm not sure where that's going to end up. But the picture is very confusing, and it's hard to make sense of it right now because there are conflicting legal issues and different perspectives on what's really happening. So I don't know what the future holds. I think we just have to wait and see. I will say we're monitoring activity at the federal level and at the state level because what happens at the federal level will impact the state as well. On the good side, what I can say is state revenues are up. That's good, which means that the budgeted revenue for the state is steady and firm, and that's a good thing for us because we get about $40 million from the state. So
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ethan. Ali Sutherland?
Just one more question. I'm pretty sure the answer is going to be yes, but just to confirm, with the gym fee being added into tuition and fees for folks like myself, my constituents, who utilize Chapter 31 or Chapter 33, which is the GI Bill, will that still be covered by the GI Bill? Would that not be something we need to worry about paying ourselves?
I don't want to answer a technical question like that, but here's what I would assume is that because it would be rolled into the tuition and fee, the mandatory fee structure of the university, it would be no different than the tuition component or the other general fee component. I mean, it would become part of the general fee. So if you're being covered, if the general fee is also being covered presently, then it will be covered going forward as well. It'll just be it'll be inclusive as opposed to a separate fee. Yeah, I would imagine you wouldn't have any issues.
Are there any further questions, comments, concerns for VP Taksar? Seeing none, all right. Thank you so much, Vice President Taksar. Thank you.
finances was fun. All right, so yes, they did, I'll start off with the soup kitchen because it was alluded a couple of times, and we have some dining folks in here, so. Once again, thank you so much to everyone who did participate in that initiative. It was definitely a project that myself, Lorraine, and Rafik Dining all worked collaboratively together to really get people at the table to really help break bread and make and share a community with folks who are in need. And it was really a very heartwarming experience being able to serve the meal that we did, because a lot of the folk there had shared that this was the best meal that they've had in the entire time that they've been attending the soup kitchen, and many of them are returners who have been attending for years, and it was heartwarming. We were able to serve over 70 individuals at the soup kitchen, and they had leftovers available for their next opportunity to give food to the community. So that was really great. Thank you so much to Dining for your collaboration. Moving into the next item, I want to give brief remarks on our legislative breakfast on Friday, or this Friday at 8 in the morning. Thank you to all the senators who showed up and engaged with our legislators, our cabinet members, and just really participated in the process. I know that some of you attended the tour with us. That was enjoyable. It was a great experience to be able to collect feedback, or give feedback rather, to our legislators and really, advocate for the things that we need on our campus. And I think that not only did we advocate, I think that a lot of them were receptive to what we were sharing. I had conversations with Brett Carlos Gonzalez, had conversations with Senator, I forget how to pronounce his last name, but I had a lot of conversations with a few of them, and they seemed very receptive. So hopefully it worked out. Hopefully we'll get some reap the benefits of what we sowed. And huge shout out to Dan and Attorney Phelps for contributing to major contributions to making this process possible. And thank you to everyone who showed up. So another round of applause. And moving forward to the next item, we will be joined by Mayor Reichelt, the mayor of Westfield, next week on Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. So this will be a dress-up meeting. Keep that in mind. We'll send reminders. This meeting will be in the SGA room per usual. Mayor Reichelt has already had been sent questions that we have prepared for inquiries that I sent into our team's chat and the responses. I know that Ali and a couple of other folks provided some questions. If they do think of any questions that you might have for the mayor of West Springfield, feel free to forward them to myself and I'll forward them accordingly. So moving forward, I just have some very small items and then moving forward with the rest of our meeting. I'll go ahead and accept the resignation of Angelina Casella as a Courtney Hall representative and accept their appointment as a University Hall representative. I would also like to appoint Ali Sutherland to the Academic Policies Committee for the remainder of the Fall 24, Spring 25 academic year. And I would also like to accept the appointment of Will Amarado as a designee for the class of 2028 as the interim president. And that is my report. Thank you.
Are there any questions, comments, or concerns for Joseph O'Neill? Seeing none. Thank you, Joseph. Oh, that's what I missed. Aiden Luciano.
I just have a public comment. I just want to express my pure gratitude for President Joseph O'Neill. Since I stepped foot, not just only in SGA, but on campus, you have been there to guide me and inspire me. I just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any further comments, questions, or concerns for Joseph O'Neill? Seeing none. Thank you, Joseph.
And now for your Board of Trustees report, Daniel Courier.
All right, good evening. I want to begin by thanking all of those who dressed up and attended this Friday's legislative breakfast. Your attendance demonstrated your commitment not only to this organization, but the students that you serve. For those not in attendance, Joseph and I had the honor of giving a presentation to legislators serving on Beacon Hill about our institution's capital needs. We worked to convince them that immediate investment is needed and that a dedicated revenue stream needs to be established to make that a reality. All lawmakers appear to agree with us, and while there will be discussions on Beacon Hill within the larger context of government debt, administration priorities, and spending needs, we appear to be moving in the right direction. It is my hope that lawmakers will be able to reach consensus on this issue as we approach the passage of the fiscal year 26 budget during the summer. The next meeting of the Board of Trustees will be taking place next Thursday, February 20th, in the Owl's Nest. Since it's directly across the hall, I hope that many of you will join us, watch our proceedings, and learn something new. In case you haven't realized by now, I'm graduating in less than 100 days, and we will soon elect our next student trustee. If you're interested in the role, now is the time to make the effort to see what a meeting is like firsthand. If you are thinking about running for the position and have questions, please feel free to reach out. Should you have any questions, please let me know.
Are there any questions, comments, concerns for Daniel Courier? Seeing none, thank you, Dan. And now for your Student Advisory Council report, Daniel Courier.
The Student Advisory Council to the Board of Higher Education will be meeting this Thursday, February 13th from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. Given our attendance at this Thursday's Keeper of the Dream Dinner, Joseph and I will not be able to attend this meeting. In accordance with SAC's bylaws, Joseph and I are able to appoint designees in our place. The only requirement under these bylaws are that the designees be an elected member of the institution's Student Government Association. If you are interested in running for an executive council position next year, including student trustee or president, this is a great opportunity to get a taste of what you would be doing in the role. Please reach out to Joseph and I directly if you are interested in representing Westfield State University on the Student Advisory Council this Thursday. Should you have any questions, please let me know.
Are there any questions, comments, concerns for Daniel Courier?
Joseph Bonilla.
Hi, Dan. Thank you for bringing up the Keeper of the Dream. I almost forgot. There are a couple of you that the Executive Council and I have deliberated to invite to represent the Student Government Association. This will be on Thursday, this Thursday at 5:30 p.m. So I will connect with you guys via message. But yes, thank you. Are there any further questions, comments, concerns for Daniel Courier? Seeing none, thank you, Dan. And now for the University Curriculum Committee, Melissa Kosmeski.
On Friday, February 7th, the University Curriculum Committee met from 1:40 to 3 p.m. The meeting started by the opening and tabling the pickleball for wellness from the previous meeting, and the recommendation was to approve the course. Next, we discussed Education 208, 219, and 220. These courses are WISE inclusive, and all three courses have revisions to update to accurately reflect the course content and the learning skills. The recommendation to move forward passed. English 363, Sheltered English Immersion, proposed course description changes to accurately update the course content, add that hours of fieldwork are required and must have a minimum grade of a B or better for this course. This recommendation motion passed. The education minor is a new 18 credit, 6 courses required, and is not open to education majors. Education 215 and either 208, 219, or 220 must be taken, as well as non-field-based courses to relate to early childhood disabilities, and selected in consultation with the Education Department Chair. The recommendation passed for the education minor. Mathematics and advanced math for elementary education was tabled due to not having a speaker to discuss the changes and the updates. Geology, A Sense of Place, is WISE inclusive, and proposed changes are to cross-list the course with geography to make it easier for the students to navigate. First-year non-transfer students must have FYJ, and transfer students who already have some skills must take Comp 101. The recommendation for this course was approved. The GPS 101, World Regional Geography. The proposal was for the course revision and updates to accurately reflect the course content and the student learning, and also to now be WISE inclusive, which was improved. GPS 106, the Sustainable Planet, now has a lab added onto it, and proposal to update the course content and WISE inclusion. This was approved. Art 108, My Brand, My Story, and Computer Graphics for Art Applications had been tabled, not having the final forms available at the time. The next meeting is Friday, February 21st.
Thank you, Melissa. Are there any questions, comments, concerns from Melissa Kuzmeski? Christopher Lannon?
Hi, I was just wondering when the education minor is gonna take place. Is that gonna start in the fall or sometime soon?
It has to go through the final processes.
Thank you, Melissa. Are there any further questions, comments, concerns from Melissa Kuzmeski? Seeing none? Thank you, Melissa. And now, wait up. And now for your Vice President's report of publicity, Elizabeth Mercer.
Hi everyone. April 11th is coming fast. I'm so excited to have everyone on the Owl Ball Committee. As an overview of this committee, we will be choosing the food, the theme, the decorations, advertising, and choosing the bring home glasses. There's glasses over here from the past years. If you guys want to look at those, that's kind of just like an example of what we give out at the dance. And then also Blue Key Committee will be meeting at the end of the semester. Blue Key Committee is where 2 people from each class are nominated and are able to sit on this committee to help choose students who go above and beyond at Westfield and are awarded the Blue Key Award. This committee meets once and it's about like a 2-hour long meeting. And we typically choose around 5 people who are awarded. And this is a great opportunity to cheer on our fellow leaders. Are there any nominations for Blue Key? Let's start with first years.
I'll open up the floor for nominations. First year, Jacob Traynor.
I nominate both of them.
Go ahead.
All right, I'd like to nominate Cody Wisington and Angela Casella for the positions.
Thank you. Are there any further nominations for the first year class? I accept the nomination for Angelina Casella and Cody Hoisington to serve as the first year representatives. Oh, do you accept? Sorry. I accept it. Do you guys? Angelina Casella, do you accept your nomination onto the Blue Key Committee?
I do.
And Cody Hoisington, do you accept your nomination on the Blue Key Committee? Your nomination is confirmed.
And now the sophomore class.
Are there any nominations for the sophomore class onto the Blue Key Committee? Brenna Giuliani,
I nominate myself.
please rise.
I nominate myself, Brenna Giuliani, and Abia Sophomores.
Do you accept your nomination for yourself? Do you accept your nomination as a member of the Blue Key Committee?
I do.
Your nominations are confirmed. Are there any nominations for the junior class? Justin Wald.
I nominate Travis McLaughlin.
Thank you. Are there any further nominations? Travis McLaughlin. No, Justin Wald, do you accept?
I do.
Your nominations are confirmed.
Wait, there's
Oh, there's one more. I'm so sorry. Wow. Christopher Landon.
I nominate Irina Mahita.
Irina Mahita.
I nominate Christopher Lennon.
Thank you.
We have to vote.
All right, so we're going to have to move into a vote. Okay.
I think we should.
We have to because I have to vote for 2 people, so it'd be.
Okay, yeah, okay, so we're gonna move forward with secret ballot. So our executive council members are gonna go ahead and give y'all index cards. Just write the 2 names of the 2 individuals that you would like. Order, please. Please write the 2 names of the 2 individuals that you would like to be represented on the Blue Key for the junior class. I think the junior class is the only ones that are supposed to be voting on
They're
this.
the only ones.
So we don't give this to everyone, it's the juniors in the room.
Just two juniors.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. We don't have yours.
Hi, everybody.
Raise your hand if you're a junior, please. It's easier.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Only juniors can vote. Oh. Wait, only juniors.
Order, please. Only the juniors will be voting. Sarah's going ahead and handing you index cards.
And any junior not receiving an index card.
Please confirm the 2 individuals that you would like for the class of 2026. The nominations are Christopher Lannon, Irini Mahida, Justin Wald, and Travis McLaughlin.
We do it on each paper, right? The same paper.
Yes.
Anyone else I didn't get their thing?
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Austin.
Thank you.
We can get some nominations while
Yeah. Okay. So while we confirm the votes for the class of 20, thank you, Ethan. While we confirm the votes for the class of 2026, we'll move forward with the class of 2025. Are there any nominations for the senior class? Nicholas Palumbo.
I nominate Liam.
Thank you. Liam Hain. Oh my God. Liam Hain. I'm so sorry. I was looking at him. I'm sorry, Liam.
I accept.
Did you have a nomination?
I nominate Nick Palumbo.
Okay. Are there any further nominations for the class of 2025?
You didn't ask me if I approve.
I'm asking if there's more nominations. Nicholas Palumbo, do you accept his nomination?
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any further nominations? Seeing none, your nominations are approved. Have we collected the votes in our retaliate? Yes, we are. We are. All right. Wonderful. Elizabeth, do you have anything else in your report?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Then I will, are there any questions, comments, concerns for Elizabeth Mercer? Christopher Lannon?
I motion for a 2-minute recess so they can count the votes.
It's been motioned. Is there a second to the motion? There is not a second. Motion denied. Justin Wald?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
For new senators in the room, could you just talk about Al Ball, what he did last year, just what they can expect from it other than the cups and the money?
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, so we have the buses that come and pick us up. There's a cash guard for anyone that's over 21. We have photo job. We hire a DJ that comes. Usually the tables are around like eight people per table, and it's usually from like 7 to 11 or 7 to 12. And it's kind of a good opportunity to like meet like new people or like go with your friends. The Owl Ball has been kind of like an SGA tradition for like years and stuff. It's kind of something that we throw for the community, and it's proud that it's just SGA that's doing it. It's kind of like our own celebration in a way. So I better see you guys all there.
Are there any further questions, comments, concerns for Elizabeth Mercer? Sarah Harrington?
I just want to add that there's also a meal included in your ticket, and it's really good food. And if you sit on the Owl Ball committee, you help decide what food, which is really cool. Last year it sold out because so many people went, so you should be one of them.
Oversold.
Last year it oversold.
Are there any further questions, comments, concerns for Elizabeth Mercer? Seeing none, thank you, Elizabeth. I now confirm the nominees. Oh, yeah, Ethan Mallinson?
I was just wondering, do you have a projected cost for a ticket of this event?
That's still being decided, but I'll let you know right now.
The Student Government Association will try their best to make sure it's affordable. So, can I get a drum roll, please? I would like to confirm the nominations for Justin and Travis to serve on the Owl Ball Committee. Blue Key, I'm so sorry. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
And now for your Executive Secretary's report, Jacob Constant.
All right, I'll keep it brief. Hello, everyone. I hope everybody's week is going well. I would like to continue to remind everyone to do their office hours and submit it on the form on presence. I re-put QR codes around because the other one expired. Next week's speaker is Mayor Reichelt, the mayor of Westfield, and have a great rest of your week. West Springfield.
Yeah, he's also on the board of trustees for Westfield, so he's a very cool guy who does a lot to help the university.
Thank you. Oh, that's it? Yeah. Oh, wow, that was quick. Great, thank you, Jacob. Are there any questions, comments, concerns for Jacob Constant? Daniel Courier?
As a point of information as well, as you may know, next Tuesday is a Monday schedule. If you have a scheduled class during that time, because it's run on the Monday schedule, talk to Jacob. It will technically be excused because it's an academic reason. So please get in contact with him if you do have class scheduled for next Tuesday.
Joseph O'Neill, sorry,
No, it's okay. And to add to Dan, it is an expectation that you do go to your class and do not miss our meeting, or do not miss your class for our meeting. So no worries at all if you have to attend your class. Irini Mahida.
Just a clarification, we are meeting next Tuesday as regularly scheduled despite the.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any further questions, comments, concerns for Jacob Constant? Sarah Harrington?
I just want to say this since we're on the topic of next week, next Tuesday. If you need me next week, I'm not available because I'll be on vacation. Thank you.
Are there any further? Seeing none, thank you, Jacob. And now for your Rules and Regulations Committee report, Ethan Haynes.
It's time for your rules and regs report. Good evening. The Rules and Regulations Committee met on Wednesday, February 5th to discuss regular business. We reviewed 3 club constitutions, the Greenhouse and Gardens Club, which has been extremely patient with myself since the end of last semester, the Occupational Therapy Assistant Club, and Dance Company, who was just up for renewal this year. The committee recommends approval for all 3 of these constitutions, and as all of them had very minor errors in the form of bolding, subsections being in the wrong spot, and the safety waiver not being on its own page. Specifically, each club just had the minor error of not having the safety waiver liability on its own page. So to answer that question, I apologize I did not get out to you. I should have sent that out to you. I'll send it out to you tonight if you would like it. But all of these clubs did submit updated constitutions in less than 24 hours to me, correcting all these issues. Therefore, I am asking for a motion to approve the Greenhouse and Gardens Club of Westfield State University.
So moved. Seconded. It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions, comments, concerns on the motion? Daniel Courier?
I hate to do this.
What's up, Dan?
So it is constitutional, it has to be sent out to everybody 24 hours in advance. So I'm gonna move to table.
That's
until next week
okay.
for these 3 constitutions.
I do not take your motion personally.
Do you accept that as a friendly amendment?
I sure do.
All right, so it's been moved. Is there a second to table? It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns to table the Constitution of the Greenhouse Club? All clubs, including Occupational Therapy Club, Dance Company, and the Greenhouse Club. Seeing none, all in favor to table these until further discussion?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Slay. All right, and then the Rules and Regs Committee will not be meeting this week. We will, however, be meeting next week. So my Rules and Regs members, take note of that if you didn't see my email. And I'm going to add on to my reports. I said last week, and I'm going to say it again. Check your emails. I'm tired of not getting responses from some of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ethan. Are there any questions, comments, concerns for Ethan Haynes? Seeing none, thank you, Ethan. Is there any unfinished business? Seeing none.
I motion for a 10-minute recess to get the food in the back, as well as please check your emails, that specifically the SGA email if you have not already.
Is there a second to this motion? It's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions, comments, concerns on the motion? Isabella Moniz.
Hi, Austin, can you explain which email we're supposed to be looking at?
The general Senate meeting that's sent out every Monday.
No, this one was sent out Friday, I believe.
Yes.
Point of information, this is the email regarding the confidentiality agreement. If you have not filled it out, fill it out. If you need it, come see me.
Point of information, we're also talking about the one that Matthew DeLea sent out last night called Materials for SGA 2/11/25 Confidential. Review everything in there because you're going to need it for new business. Thank you.
Are there any further questions, comments, or concerns? Seeing none, all in favor to move to a 10-minute recess?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? 10-minute recess starts now and we resume at 6:35.